Subclasses are coming for the Elder Scrolls Online, and there's a lot of new information to cover. It could be a little bit overwhelming, but let's break it down and see if we can simplify it. Hello, it's Icy. I am here to talk about the new subclassing. Gosh, if you, like me, are somebody who just likes to play kind of the one type of character, usually the one kind of build, and not really change it, subclassing is maybe too much and a bit too much information. I'm going to break it down as simply as I can for myself, apart from anybody else. But one thing I would say is you do not need to interact with subclassing if it's not your vibe. Your straight, plain, pure class that you're already playing is perfectly fine. It will have no downsides. It will work beautifully. It's designed to work beautifully. Subclassing will just give you some other options if that's what you want to look at. So, if you'd like to engage with the subclassing system, you will find the lovely Batra Atundik, who will teach you all about it. So she is located in either the Rift, yes, Reaper's March, which is where we are now, and Bankarai, which are the final zones of each alliance. So, as you can see, we are here just outside of Dune, and we're talking with her here. She gets a cool little icon, and she's just got a tiny little quest where really all you do is you just find out a little bit about each of the different kinds of subclasses, and she gives you one free subclassing. Subsequently, each subclass, each time you want to engage and change your classes, you need to come back and visit her, and it's 1500 gold. It's not overly expensive, so feel free to experiment and play around. So we get a little bit of information here. There is more helpful information under the ESO help, which you can access by F1 if you're on a PC. There is a lot of information under the help system. Do check that out if you're stuck at any time doing anything. There is actually a heap of stuff, and I'm not sure everybody knows that you can actually go in there and find good, helpful information. Now, the way this works is each class of Elder Scrolls Online, Warden, Dragon Knight, Sorcerer, Nightblade, Templar, Necromancer, and Arcanist, each have 3 skill lines. Usually, though not completely, that's broken up into a damage line, a healing line, and a tanking line. The older classes, so that's the Dragon Knight, Sorcerer, Nightblade, and Templar, that's not as clear-cut a breakup, but for the newer classes, Warden, Necromancer, Arcanist, it is. It's pretty much, tanking line, healing line, damage line. I have access to all 7 of the different classes. You do need to unlock Warden, Necromancer, and Arcanist. You either unlocked it along with the respective chapters when they arrived in the game, or you can unlock them later using crowns. So you can subclass in anything, whether or not you've made a character in that class or not, but you do need to actually have access to the class overall. So the way this works is you need to sacrifice a skill line to replace it. So right now, you can see I'm using stuff from the Animal Companions tree. I've got 1 skill from the Green Balance tree, and I have 1 skill from the Winter's Embrace tree. Now, according to some of the passives I've got in here, which specifically this Piercing Cold, if I want to do more damage, I need to keep some sort of cold generation. So I don't want to really get rid of the Winter's Embrace tree. If I do, I'll need to get some sort of other cold damage, which maybe I can do. However, the only thing I have in the Green Balance tree here is a heal. So as long as I can get a heal from some other place, I could get rid of this tree. I always play a damage dealing character, so the damage line, so all of the animals, is what I want to keep. So I know I'm prepared to sacrifice the Green Balance tree. So currently I have 18 skill points spent in here. Ooh, on this character I may not have enough skill points to experiment with, but we'll see how we go. And we'll get those 18 back. So I think I'm going to pick something else in here. Now, this is where we get to the point of, what do I pick? There's so many choices. I'm feeling overwhelmed. And I understand. And I have a couple of ways for you to think about this, to give you some direction. One is, you're doing it for roleplay reasons. You've got a warden, for example, and you just want to get as many pets as possible. So rather than perhaps using these warden pets, you would like to add the sorcerer pets as well. Because if we look into here, we could of course add our unstable familiar and our winged twilight, and have the bear, and we just go all pets all the time. So that might be one reason. You could also think about it from a my warden is wants to run around the world doing good, so perhaps I want to add in a Templar, a few Templar skills. So they're a a warden, a druid perhaps, a druid doing good deeds around the world. You can play it from that point of view. The other point of view is, I've seen a different class, or I played a different class, and I know that's got a really useful skill, and I want that on my bar. So that's always a way you can do it. This is also kind of how I advise people to use the scribe skills as well. There's a gap. I'd like to fill that gap in my class, and here's a new way to do it. And then my last, and I think the most useful way to do this is just to say, oh, I just want to do more damage, or I just want to do more healing, or I just want to be able to tank more. And so you just look at skills, or or passive skills actually, that will help you do that. Now, there's a couple of that I've found so far that I think are useful. Under assassination, for the Nightblade, is the Master Assassin trait, sub-passive skill, which increases your critical chance against enemies you're flanking, so not face on but the side, by 4.4% or 8.8% when you have 2 skill points into it. That's great. That's just flat extra crit. The other one I would suggest is under the Templar, under the Adric Spear. There are other different ones you might look at for healing or tanking, but these are all damage ones, is the Piercing Spear. So this increases the crit damage, so not the crit chance, the crit damage, when you're using one of the Adric Spear skills. So you would need to equip one of these onto the bar in order to trigger it, but this is great as well. And then the other one is under the Arcanist. And there's 2 in here. Actually, there were 2 in the Nightblade as well, but there's 2 in here. So you get an extra crit damage or healing when you generate or consume a crux. So you would need to be casting a skill every 7 seconds in order to trigger this reliably, but that's certainly an option. And then there's actually quite a few good ones in here, but the other one specifically is you increase damage dealt by status effects. So that is burning, chilled, off balance, bleed, poisoned, all of those ones are increased by using this subclass. So with a Herald of the Tomb ability is slotted. So most of these will require you to have at least one of those things in there. One additional skill slotted in order to activate it. So in here as well, we get an additional crit chance. So we can actually get the base crit chance from this one, which is just a complete passive, and then we can get an additional one by using one of these other skills. So it doesn't really matter which one you get, just one is fine, and we can increase the crit even further. So I would suggest that you have a look, pick 1 or 2 of the other lines and go, right, yep, I want to increase my crit, I want to increase my weapon damage, I want to increase my status chance, any of those things, and then use those to boost the amount of damage that your character does. So let's do that, shall we? I think what we're going to do is we're going to choose Assassination. Oh. Exit preview. We equip it. And we're going to say we're going to get rid of the green balance tree. So the green balance branch of our class, gone. And now we have Animal Companions, Winter Embrace, and Assassination. So let's talk cost. As I said previously, every time you come back to pick another subclass, it's 1,500 gold, so not overly expensive. However, you will need to both unlock these for skill points, and you will need to level these skills as well. So let's talk about skill points first. They're double. So because I have dropped my other skill line, it has actually refunded my skill points. So you won't have skill points locked up in things you're not using. So you don't need to sort of unspec the skill line that you're dropping. It will refund you the points, which leaves them free to add back in. Now, if I want to unlock all of these passives, so we're talking 4, so 2, 4, 8, 12, 16 to get all of the passives. Not all of these passives are useful, right? When an enemy dies within 2 seconds of being damaged by you, restore 500 magicka, and that'll probably go up to 1,000 magicka. This is a heavy attack build. I don't need that. So I can save myself some skill points there. So that one I would want. Increases your crit damage by 5%. Oh, that's just great. Okay, so I didn't even point that one out. I would say the Assassin Tree is something you should very much seriously consider for any damage class. So really, I'll need 6 skill points. Sorry, I will need 12 skill points to unlock these passives. Then I need at least one of these to actually activate the pressure points ability, which will improve my crit by even further. I'm getting a lot of crit from all the others, so maybe it does. Oh, that's crit damage, and that's crit chance, and that's crit chance. Maybe I can get away with just using the passives and not having an active skill. Something to think about, perhaps something to test, but let's choose one of these. So this character mostly needs to be in melee range, but one thing I've done is I've sacrificed a heal to pull this in, so I think we're going to go with this one. Because it will, if I use it in melee range, it gives me a heal as well. So we'll use that one. So that was another 4 skill points. So we're down to here, and now we have a Nightblade skill on our bar. So the first time we activate this is, it's free. Oh, we don't have enough skill points. What do you mean? It just says there, I have enough. Okay, after freeing up some skill points, despite the fact it looked like I had enough, I think that's a bug, which we can report. I've selected my Merciless Resolve, and we're going to confirm. So we have our new skill line called Assassination. We can talk to her one more time, which confirms our quest, and then, conveniently, she'll give us a skill respec scroll as well. So you can pay at any time. It's not too much gold to respec either a full skill line or just the morphs at any main temple in any of the zones, which is an option. There are also various respec scrolls that you might have got as login rewards, very helpful as well. But now, as you can see, we have some skills. So, as I was saying, cost. Double the amount of skill points. So one thing you might consider doing in advance is to go off and gather as many sky shards as you can. You, like me, might also have a bunch of skill points into skills that you were just leveling, but you're not actually using. Definitely worthwhile to unspec all of those skill points so you know exactly how many you have to work with. This character had a lot more than I thought once I took off all of the things she's not using. Now, something else to keep in mind, which is part of the cost, aspect. Because this is on the test server, everything is fully leveled. But when it goes to the live server, these skills will not be leveled. So even though I have a Nightblade, and the Nightblade is a top level character who's unlocked everything, the subclass skills are not hers. The subclass skills are sort of a separate set of leveling for your account. Now, what that means is that you will need to go through and level these skills. They will level a lot slower than the skills on the main character skills. Somebody did some testing, thank you to Taradola's friend, who was testing, and they said they needed 23 Master Writs, so you can level doing Master Writs with the skill on the bar. 23 of those with the 250 XP bonus active at the time, so with an event and a leveling scroll, and it took 23 scrolls. That's a lot of experience to level this, so do keep that in mind. There's both extra skill points and a lot of experience to level these, so you don't expect to be jumping straight in and having all of these skills and then being available at the top level straight away. It will take a while. So a couple of other tips, just leveling tips in general for people. Any quest you do where a skill is present on the bar will level the skill. Any kill that you make will level it. One of the most effective ways and most effective low impact ways of leveling a skill is to simply have it on the bar when you do your daily writs. If you do a random dungeon, when you turn in the random dungeon when it completes, to have it on the bar. A random battleground, any of those really big chunky XPs things is when you might want to have the skill on the bar when you turn those in. Experience scrolls come with login rewards. Start saving those up now. Master Writs is another way of leveling, so start saving your Master Writs if you're doing those and do them on the characters. Now, you don't need to level these subclass skills on every single character. It's on the account. So, for example, say you want to really quickly level the assassination line. Then what you might do is attach the assassination line on a number of different characters, and each individual character can go away and do a number of Master Writs. They can do their daily login writs. They can each do a random dungeon, and each of them will be leveling the skill line at the same time. So, and it will contribute to all of them. It's a bit like champion points. Once you've unlocked champion points, it doesn't matter which character you play it on, the champion points will accumulate. So, that's a lot of information, but let me summarize it, I guess, for you. One is, maybe just think about it of, I just want one skill, or really I want one passive or two passives in order to improve my current build. Maybe I need to add a skill to trigger the passive, but there's a couple there where you can just take the line and the passives and keep the rest of everything else the same. Second thing, you will need more skill points. Now is a great time to go off and start grabbing those skill points. You need, say, 16 to unlock all of the passives, plus another 4 per skill that you want to unlock. And one thing I think I didn't say is you can't pick 2 of another class. So, for example, I can't take 2 Sork skill lines on my Warden. I just have to go play a Sork. So, but I can hate 1 Warden and then 2 other separate classes. So yeah, if you want 2 of one line, you just have to play that class, which is fine. So don't forget, you can have many characters on ESO. A lot of people have 1 of each. So but this way you can try other ones, other skill lines, even if you only ever play 1 character. And the last point is these will level very slowly. So think about that, maybe plan in advance, save up your Master Writs, buy Master Writs off guild traders, if that's something you want to do. Think about having the skills on the bar of multiple characters when it goes live so you can train it across all of them. But let me know. Do you have any other questions about subclassing? Is there any information I missed or I need to clarify? Let me know. Also, do come over and see me over at twitch.tv/ICYIC, where I stream the Elder Scrolls Online 4 days a week, and you will see me doing some subclassing because I have plans. Also, the next video in this series, I'm going to go through and show you my Warden build with subclassing, and it is very effective. It's a 1-bar build using Oakensole, and it's good. It's real good. So come just check out that for the next video. But thank you very much for watching. Yeah, do follow me over at Twitch. Lovely to see you all. There's a lot of information in this. I can only hope that I made it less confusing, not more. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.